All right, we're going to move on to Misty Kerrigan. Sorry, my reading glasses here. Okay. So Misty, what advice would you give to aspiring entrepreneurs or those looking to start their own businesses?
That's one of my favorite questions. I spent 22 years in mental health working with at-risk youth and foster youth, and I really see there's no difference in behavior when it comes to fear. We react to fear because it moves to the part of our brain, right? Fight or flight. And so for our new entrepreneurs, sometimes it's scary, especially depending what generation you're raised in, because some generations we were raised for security and get the job and go to college, and other generations, and I'm loving it, are raised to follow your passion and your purpose. So my thing for entrepreneurs is always this. Your children don't do what you tell them, they do what you do. So if you're starting a business, that's amazing because they could see you run that company. But if that company becomes more important than the children, then why'd you start the company in the first place? So I work with a lot of entrepreneurs who are 80, 90 weeks on the grind and grinding, and they're missing out on why they started the business in the first place. So the advice I love to give new entrepreneurs is that priority list and the non-negotiable. Like, when is your family time? When is your date night? You got a lot of queens in the room, right? When are you spending time connecting? When is the children more important than the phone? And the last thing I always love to tell entrepreneurs is have dinner with your family without answering any emails, any calls, because your children do what you do. And so when we're like, they're always on their cell phone, it's because you're always on your cell phone. So it really is, and I love how you said it, is your family should come first. And then it's crazy because then your business will follow, but sometimes we think, oh, if I do all this, then I'll come back for my family. Nope. Family first, and then start your business.
All right. Okay, my next question is, how do you foster a culture of continuous learning and professional development within your organization?
I love that. Working at the nonprofit I did for 22 years, I started the program once. It was just me, because I didn't want to do something that I wouldn't expect others to do. So within 6 months, it grew to 100 staff. And I don't know about any other woman in here, but I always am like, well, I could do it better. Let me just take care of it. But there comes a time where you outgrow your business. Has anyone in here yet? Delegating, is that a scary word? So what I had to do was really go back and foster the culture in my team, because I can't inspire 100 people, but I can inspire my five who follow my vision, my 5 who follow me, and then they can inspire their 5. And then we just moved down. So what we had to do for that culture of growth is I had to create development and growth for myself. I had to be excited about it. I had to go and get developed and then come back and have them see the importance of development. And in delegating, and I was just joking with some of my crew who came down tonight, is I had an executive assistant who I loved, and I didn't have to do anything because she was amazing. Do we have any doers in here? Like, you're just organized, and you're my favorite people. Like she'd be like, don't forget your cards, and don't forget this, and don't forget that. And I was like, she kept me just where I needed to be. But I'm very motivational, and I'm like, you can't be here the rest of your life. What do you want to do? And let's do this. And she's a school psychologist now. But I always learned was delegating is one thing, but really caring about your team and aligning their purpose with your vision, just like the military, right? They might outgrow where you're at, but they're always going to be able to make their life and their passion, and it's a what about me culture. So if you're helping them reach their goals and dreams, your business is going to explode, because it can't help but explode when you're investing back into the people that are investing in your business. No one is going to love your business as much as you do. They're just not. It's not their business, but you can align your vision with their vision, and it's going to explode your vision, and it's still going to help them reach theirs, and you're going to see that decrease in receptivity, because it's not about employees anymore. The new generation coming up, they're not hard workers. They truly are, but they got to be passionate, and they don't do shit for a paycheck.
Okay.
So your generations, you get ready for our alphas, because our Generation Z right now is paving the way, but when these alphas get to that working age, you're going to see an entire shift if your business is not already aligned with investing in your employees.
All right. Okay, so what book would you recommend to new business owners?
So it's funny, and we do a lot of these panels, right? And every time we hear, it's like, everyone's like, Think and Grow Rich. Absolutely love that. But the book that changed my life, I came from a world of nonprofit, and when I got into the business world, I didn't like it. I was like, I don't like the feel of sales and close and just make money. And I'm like, that's not where my heart is. And I'm like, if this is business, maybe I should just stay a nonprofit. Like, it's not aligned. And then I read The Go-Giver. And The Go-Giver changed my life because it hit one of the most important principles of your business. You will make equal the amount of value times the number of people you serve. So sometimes they ask, like, well, how come like this teacher's not making $1 million? Well, because, and I love teachers, don't get me wrong, my grandfather was a teacher, but because he only gave value to the 22 kids that were in his class when they were in his class. Now, if he would have made a textbook that would have gave value to 2 million kids, then that's the value that comes back. So sometimes it really is where is my impact and how many people can I impact and serve, because that's directly going to come back to me. And you really, in your business, have to really think about that. The one-on-one model is amazing, but you're not going to find the millions in the one-on-one model. But if you like McDonald's, that one-on-one model, and now you're on TV or you have your own TV show like you're talking about, and you're impacting millions, that's where the value comes, and that's where you'll see the money.
Awesome. All right. Can you share an example of a significant challenge your company faced and how you overcame it in 2 minutes?
Absolutely can. Okay, got ready? Time me. When I first started, I didn't know this, but sometimes women just don't like each other. And when I had to really get into understanding it's not that they didn't like each other, it was that they didn't understand each other's needs. And so what I would recommend is if you're struggling in communication or your team is struggling, is just take that step back and what needs are not being met. Because we are human beings that need our needs met. Is it security? Is it significance? Whatever it is, we will meet that need. And unfortunately, sometimes if we're not social and emotionally where we need to be, we will run over someone else to meet that need. But if you have your needs met, then you could help others take that step back and mentor and nurture them to meet their needs so that they're not belittling others to survive in their own world. And I also had to learn that I don't know what goes on at home when people leave the company. So I always have to be, the last thing I want to say, my 2 minutes is, I really had to take always believe the best in someone.
Awesome.
Always believe the best in
All right,
someone.
last question for you, Misty. How can business owners promote a healthy work-life balance, and what impact does this have on their overall productivity and satisfaction? Can you do that in 2 minutes?
Go. One of the main drivers, especially for women, and I bet you a lot of women in here, is fulfillment. How good does it feel when your company is serving the people that they serve? So the really life balance is to take that step back and always be checking in with yourself. Because it's okay if you get your business to a certain point and realize, I don't want to do that anymore. I want to shift. I want to pivot because my heart is somewhere else. So never be ashamed that when you got a business so far, that it's not where you want to be anymore and you want to shift and you want to do something else. Because sometimes as women, we get so committed that we have to get to the finish line that we lose the joy. So my last word of advice in the healthy balance is never lose your joy. And you could only lose it if you forget to reflect on what brings you joy.
Woo! Awesome. Thank you, Misty. Drop the mic. Okay.